Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another Sport This Week video. In today's video, we've got all the sports as usual. We've got Turkey Grand Prix, international break for football, and the start of the finals. I don't know, I can't remember what it's called. What's it called? The World Tour Finals. That's what it's called, or the ATP Finals. I think it's called that for tennis. And then some boxing fights as well. But yeah, if you're new and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do indeed like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, sorry if I'm a little bit dark, but I don't know how good this is. But we'll start off with F1. So, F1, so we're starting off like the week. F1 released the 2020 to 2021 season calendar, starting with Australia and ending with Abu Dhabi as per usual. And yeah, there's nothing really massive changed, but yeah, it might change throughout the season like it has done this year. But this week was the Turkey Grand Prix, and Hamilton won, meaning he won his seventh world title, drawing with Schumacher's record. And I probably think he will go past it. He might even reach double figures. You never really know, but I think he will probably pass it next year or the year after. But yeah, he's just so convincing this season, and yeah, fair play to him. Congratulations. Also in the Turkish Grand Prix, Perez got second and Vettel got third, which is meaning they both got their first podium of the season. Which, I mean, for Perez is good because he hasn't got many of podium. But Vettel has won a world title before. I think he's won a few. But I mean, he's kind of slipped off recently. This season hasn't been the best season for Ferrari, and he is going to Aston Martin, I believe, next season. So maybe he'll do a bit better there. But he just proves that he is still very good. And then also just some big names that didn't quite finish where they wanted. Bottas spun out quite early and got 14th, and Verstappen got 6th. Moving on to the tennis now. So it started off with the World Tour final starting, and Nadal winning 2-0 versus Rublev, and then Djokovic winning 2-0 versus Schwartzman, but it only started on Friday, Saturday, so it hasn't got loads of games in yet. So that's all that's happened with the people that we follow. We'll move on to a bit of rugby. So it was the start of the Autumn Nations Cup. It started off with an Ireland win 32-9 versus Wales, a Scotland win with 28-17 versus Italy, and England won 40-0 versus Georgia. Also in the not Autumn Nations, I can't remember what it was in, but Argentina won 25-15 versus New Zealand, which is the first time in Argentina's history that they've ever beaten New Zealand. So congratulations to them, another big achievement. We'll move on to a bit of boxing news now. We've got Conor Benn will be fighting Formella on the 21st November. He's back after a break, and he's an amazing fighter. This match will probably be an amazing match, and I'm interested to see what will happen, really. Also, in the actual fights that happened this week, Terence Crawford won versus Kell Brook to become the WBO welterweight champion. So congratulations to him. It was a decent fight. I believe he got knocked down 4 times and then it got called out, so I think it was a TKO. Also, the last bit of boxing news, Fury versus Khabib. So Tyson Fury, not Tommy. He did have a fight and did win, but he's not quite up there for me to really say anything at the moment. So basically that fight is in doubt for the original date, which is in December of 2020. So maybe happen to be 2021, and which is a bit of a shame, really, because that's a really big event, and it's not even just the big fight itself. There's some big undercards as well going on as well. So it is a bit annoying to see if that does get pushed back to 2021. But that is all the boxing news now. We've got this has gone very quickly. We've got the last sport which is football, which of course is a big one. So we'll go through this. Bellingham got his first call up to the England squad. Congratulations to him. but I don't know if that's really deserved. But I mean, I didn't really see that he did loads, but you know, the Premier League have decided to scrap the pay-per-view matches, which is very good news. It was a very dumb idea in the first place and shouldn't really have been a thing for as long as it was. And I'm glad that they've finally listened to the fans and have taken it away. So now some interesting news that we won't go in too much about because I don't want to start any like controversy or anything. But Greg Clark has resigned from chairman of the FA after some comments he made in a meeting, and it was. I'm not going to go too much into it, but yeah, he's basically left now. This is some big news though. Apparently, Ronaldo's had an offer to join Man U, but knowing Man U, I doubt they'll ever get that deal done. But if it does apparently get done, Ronaldo said he wouldn't mind going back to them. So maybe, but I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know about that one. So Gomez is injured. So he's now injured. So there's a lot of injuries. So he's injured. I believe Robertson's injured. Salah's got corona. Henderson's out. I think Firmino and Alisson might have corona. I don't know how many people it's got to get to be injured for the game to get called off. Also, of course, before I believe I didn't mention Arnold, Van Dijk, Fabinho might be back. Matip is back. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of mad, really. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see if them games can even go with the little amount of players that they'll have. It will just be the under-23s team soon. And then into the actual international break. Netherlands drew 1-1 with Spain. Portugal won 7-0 versus Andorra. Italy won 4-0 versus Estonia. Belgium won 2-1 versus Switzerland. Turkey drew 3-3 versus Croatia. Finland won 2-0 versus France. Scotland won 5-4 on pens versus Serbia, which is an amazing achievement for Scotland, meaning that they will qualify for the Euro 2020, which is the first major tournament they have qualified for in 22 years. So, of course, the whole of Scotland were celebrating this, and it's some big news for them, really big news. And yeah, I mean, fair enough to them. They did it in quite a hard way because they did concede quite late, but they did it, and they did. I mean, they were the only other club to do it because I believe Northern Ireland got knocked out as well. So congratulations to Scotland. England won 3-0 versus Ireland. Son won October Player of the Month for the Premier League. Nuno Espirito Santos won the October Manager of the Month for Premier League. And Lanzini won the October Goal of the Month for the goal against Spurs in the Premier League. If you don't know, very late on to get a draw, he just kind of shoots it from about 30 odd yards out, and it goes top bins. And it was a very good goal, and it was definitely deserved to be October Goal of the Month. Then moving back to the international break, France won 1-0 versus Portugal, Belgium won 2-0 versus England, and Italy won 2-0 versus Poland. And then the last little bits of news, Mascherano has retired, which is of course a shame because he was a very good player in his time. He did fade away near the end of his career, but most players do that anyway. But in his Barcelona times, he's very good, and he won lots and lots of trophies throughout his career. And then the last bit of news, Ryan Reynolds is the new co-owner of Wrexham, which is so very shocking when I heard this when it first came out. Which was about a month or two ago, and I didn't expect it to go over the line, and it has done. I don't really know if Ryan Reynolds has any connection to Wrexham in any way, but he now co-owns the club, so maybe they'll come out of the National League and actually go somewhere big now. We'll have to wait and see with that. But that is it for this week of this Sport This Week video. So lots of big news, lots of people doing stuff for the first time. And yeah, I mean, it seemed to be quite an interesting week. I hope you did enjoy. As always, like the video if you did like the video, subscribe if you are new, and thanks for watching.